welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast for all the crap we love to talk about on ye old bros. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Good. We just got back from Sirius XM, where we did the show of the illustrious Jeff Lewis. So that was a fun morning. And now we're here doing this below deck sailing recap, okay? A couple of things. We start touring this week. Friday, we'll be in San Francisco. Saturday, we'll be in San Diego. We will be doing Salt Lake City Reunion Part 1 in both cities. Come check that out. It's going to be super fun. The next week, we're on Broadway in New York City at the Town Hall doing the Golden Crappies Awards. That's going to be so fun. That show's coming together, and voting is up now. Voting just went up, so go vote in that, okay? And then next, after that, we're going to be in Salt Lake City and Denver the following week. So good times coming up. Go vote. If you want this video, it's on Patreon, as is where our also, Patreon is where our traders recaps are. That should go up later today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Can I say something that's really cool?
Sure.
The round 2 voting for the Crappies went live yesterday, and in 24 hours, we've had 11,000 votes. I think that breaks the record by far. So thank you to all the nominees. I think in large part the reason why we have so many votes is because so many nominees regrammed it. So thank you for everyone being in the spirit. And they're already, there are a bunch of really close races. So definitely vote. Have your voice heard, because if you want someone to be Bravo Celebrity of the Year, the only way it's going to happen is if you vote for them. So it's really fun. And of course, our streaming. Don't forget to watch us. Did you say the streaming part?
I did not say the streaming part. Damn it.
Well, we will be streaming the Golden Crappies. So if you can't get a ticket, because there's only like 70 or 80 tickets left. If you can't come see us because you can't get a ticket, or you're just not in New York City, you can stream it thanks to our partners at Kiswi. So watchforcrappens.com is where you can find that link. I think it's crappies.kiswi.com is the link. But go to watchforcrappens.com. You'll find it right there.
Yeah, do it. I dare you, triple dog.
Dare you.
Dun, 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 dun. So how you feeling? What you thinking about everything?
I am over-caffeinated. I had some strong ass cold brew, and it's rocked my world all morning. So that's what I'm thinking about. You know, Below Deck Sailing Yacht, this was actually the penultimate episode. We only have one episode left of the season. We're about to have a big Bravo changeover. Summer House is like 2 weeks away. The new Below Deck Down Under is 2 weeks away, I think. So we're switching everything over. I'm excited. Like, this is actually a really exciting time to be going back out on tour and to be doing the Golden Crappies, because we're about to get all like the new class of shows. So I'm really excited. What are you thinking about?
You sure are.
I got myself excited over the course of that. I was like, I'm ready. I'm going to throw my table over. Give me the new shows.
Okay, let's get into Below Deck Sailing Yacht, Season 5, Episode 15. How many episodes are there of this shit? My God. And I'm not sick of it, actually. I'm actually still enjoying it. But doesn't that mean next week should be the season finale? I mean, come on.
It is. They said. Next week is the season finale. Yeah.
Oh, party then. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I have to say, Below Deck Sailing Yacht, when it emerged, it was really like the runt of the litter. It was like no one watched it but that first season was like not great. It was just like this random, it's like Below Deck on its side. But now I think it might be my favorite because it's so chaotic every single episode. So, good for you, Below. No, actually, no, Down Under is my favorite. Down Under is just so good. But this one I really enjoy a lot.
Well, you're in luck because Down Under comes back in a couple of weeks, buddy.
That's correct.
So here we are. So Gary and Daisy and other people are getting in trouble because they went out with the guests and they were only supposed to have 2 drinks, but those drag queens dragged them down into alcoholism. And so, poor Gary was totally fine before this, but he got drunk that one time, so he's in trouble. So Glenn's yelling at them. Well, not yelling at them. He's yelling at them in Canadian, which is, guys, I don't like that. And Gary's like, but the guests made me do it. And he's like, Gary, no, don't get it confused. You were not forced to drink, Gary. Okay, you knew the rules. You broke the rules, and now you're mad. Okay? I could have said don't have any drinks. But did I say that? No, because I do have some realism attached to my personality still, but still.
I thought cut them a little slack, when I lived in a cave. God, I love caves. Sometimes we would need a drink to get by, so I understood. And it's the end of the season. They've been working hard. And I don't feel good taking 100%. I don't think that's fair. But you knew what the rules were, and you went ahead and you did it anyway. So basically, he's going to say, I'm going to fine everyone $500.
Which is nothing. You should have taken their damn money.
Taking their money.
And I love that he's like, now listen here. I'm going to be strict. I set a rule and I'm going to follow. Okay, I'll only take 500 out of your tip. No, that's not what you do. You take the whole amount of money, sir.
Whole amount. Or at least half. But 500? No, not enough.
Yeah.
Because they all did it and they were brazen about it. But Gary is like, he's such a baby, but he also is like totally in the wrong. And it's shocking that he's even protesting this instead of like having his, his tail between his legs. He's even protesting. He's even saying like, well, I was barely even drunk. You could never tell I was drunk. I'm like, wait till you watch the footage, Gary. Just wait.
You were drunk. And he's all mad, storming out of there. He's like, let's go. I don't know why Chase isn't here witnessing all of this. I love that Chase got to see you get dressed down a little bit. I don't even like Chase, but it was fun.
Yeah.
That he got that. I'm happy for Chase, You don't have to like people to be happy for them in that moment. I mean, I don't hate Chase. I don't know. I don't like him. I only like him because he has that gigantic wiener they keep showing. Otherwise, I'd hate him. That's so shallow.
That's fine. You're a gay man. That's enough. Glenn, yeah, no. I mean, he's annoying. Chase is annoying as fuck. And he was the only one who did the right thing, but it doesn't excuse the fact that he's annoying as fuck. And he's annoying later this episode in different ways. So Glenn is like, when I set the rules, I never earned $1 million. I never thought in $1 million would thought. I never thought in a million years, I don't know why I said $1 million. I never thought in a million years that I would have to withhold their tip. Overall, they took good care of the guests. They did amazing jobs, but these guys painted me into a corner, period, and there are consequences. Now, here's the thing. When you're in a cave and you get painted in a corner, you make beautiful pictures. But we're not in a cave, unfortunately.
So then the crew gets to cleaning and Chase is, pissy. So Danny asks him what's wrong. And he's like, well, we had a 2-drink minimum and some people just couldn't listen. Basically everybody with me. And now he's taking €500 from each of their trip. Golly, whoo. Honestly, it is kind of fucked up. It is not fucked up. He should have taken all of it.
Yeah. Danny's like, I didn't know you guys were even allowed to drink until now. The rest of us were here cleaning up after everyone and left here working by ourselves. It's a bit fucked. So now Danny's, what's funny about this is that like Danny was all ready to complain about like, you guys got to go out to the club and we had to work. But now all these other people like Gary can complain about how they lost their tip. So like their complaints have now squashed, have like taken precedence over Danny's complaints, and her complaints are now lost, which is great.
So now she's even more mad because they got to drink too. They got to severely party. So he's like, I'm just so turned on right now because you're just so, upset or whatever. And she's like, you, which is all you really need to say to Danny at any time. That's really the only prize she's going for.
Yeah. So Daisy is talking to Gary and she's like, oh, I'm really embarrassed. And Gary's like, 2 drinks. I'll have 2 drinks in 20 minutes. I wasn't drunk last night. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what that has to do with like what the rule is. You can drink 2 drinks in 20 minutes. Sure. But you could have also maybe paced it out over 2 hours like Glenn asked you to and saved yourself $500. Hope they were worth it.
Saying like I drink 2 drinks in 20 minutes usually. I'm fine. I can have a million drinks.
I know, and I'm saying congratulations. It doesn't matter. You still like the rule was 2 drinks. So next time, pace it out over 2 hours. Gary.
So then she's like, well, I did fuck up, but both me and Keith are being dragged under the bus because of Gary. And she's got a point. Like she fucked up, but she can hold her liquor. They wouldn't have gotten in trouble if they came on like Daisy.
Exactly. So now it's tip meeting, and he's like, all right, everyone. I thought that went really well. I mean, they were a fun group. Cloyce, there were some comments that said, this cut fitness keeps serving me fried cheese, so I think someone didn't like that. But overall, everyone else was happy.
So, he goes, however, some things did happen because 3 of our fellow crew members past the 2-drink minimum. And I'm going to be real mean Canada and say they're all still very good looking, talented people. And Glenn, stay on their asses. Sorry, I just can't do it. It's Canada.
So the crew without a loss of damages gets 2,500 euros, but Daisy, Gary, and Keith are only going to get 2,000 euros. Really showed them.
Yeah, so Chase is like, woohoo, let's go to the strip club. Okay, so now it's back to work, and Daisy's telling Keith, you don't have to pay the $500. I can cover it. I get paid a lot more than you.
Which, by the way, class act, and on top of that, like, that should have been Gary who did that because Keith works under Gary. But class act for Daisy, and Keith is like, no, don't worry about the 500 euros. I like to work in plays, so after this, I'll go sign myself up for a community theater and earn that $500 back the real way. So don't worry, that doesn't sit well with me.
And, of course, Danny's still grumbling. Oh, don't drink two more drinks? You can't do that? I mean, come on. The rest of us had to clean. Oh, for fuck's sake. My God.
It's called the rest of you had to do your jobs that you were supposed to do anyway. So, yeah. Sorry.
Quiet over there. So Daisy's like, oh, God, I'm so embarrassed. Everyone's going to get a real kick out of this one.
And Keith is like, well, it is what it is, man. We fucked up. All we can do is just kind of take it on the chin. That's why I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. And she's like, well, you're doing well. So then Chase is like, I strictly told myself coming onto this season that I would not hook up with anybody, but Danny is super cute to some people, and she's fun, so this boatmance has changed into a real romance for me, and I'm not upset about it.
And then, of course, we get her view, which is like, a boy picked me. I always dreamed of this day, ever since I was a chubby little girl, before I found out about gyms and cheerleading. So she likes him too. Now we know that the Below Deck season is ending, which means someone's got to get dumped, or they have to commit to seeing each other after, because that's how it happens. Like there's only one or two ways that you can do this. And so they're leading us to believe that these two are going to last forever, which of course we know. Wow. The next Uber driver that comes and gives Danny attention, she's out of there.
I know. Like, I mean, I was going to say the next Starbucks barista, but like she needs to take the Uber to get to the Starbucks. So Chase.
Yeah, that's where the Uber
they're going to get there first. So meanwhile, Gary is telling Chase to go fix the name on the back of the yacht. And so he's going to have to do this thing. He's like, well, Chase needs to work aloft on the back of the boat. And working aloft is probably going to be one of the most dangerous things you could do. Blah, 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 blah. It's the usual thing where it's like, oh, it's dangerous. So he's going to have to like go in the back of the boat and dangle. And that's like there's a certain way to do it that is probably the safest way. Because if you don't do it the safe way, you could fall off and the back of your head could hit the dock.
Yeah, and basically Chase is like, well, just hang from right here. Seems like a good a place as any. Gary's like, no, you need to listen to what I'm saying. He's like, no, I can do it from right here. So now Gary's bigger mad, you know? He's mad that Chase got that girl. He's mad that Chase didn't have a drink. And he's mad that Chase watched him get in trouble this morning. And now Chase won't even listen to him. It's crazy times.
And so Gary just tattles. And you know what? Honestly, I support this tattle. I think this was like a good use of tattling because Chase honestly doesn't listen to Gary. And it's been an issue for already 2 years. So Gary's like, blah, 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 blah. You know, Chase just wants to put on a rope and the guardrails like Tarzan. And if he's going at it this way, he's going to envelope backward, blah, 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 blah. Glenn, I told Chase to go and get up on the hull yard. And so he would do the name. And he said no. And now he's not going to. So why?
And if he does this, Glenn will be held responsible for negligence. Blah, blah, blah. Like you were falling down drunk all over the boat last night while you were chain smoking all over it. So
also, not for nothing, Glenn already crashed the boat into the dock. So
that's true.
It's going to be okay.
And of course, Chase is like, give me some fucking credit, will you? Credit for being the best mother I knew how to be. And he's like, I do my job and I do it fast. I could do Gary's job blindfolded. Babe, you just dropped the shackle thing yesterday. You shackle shaking motherfucker.
you shackle klutz. You shackle fuckface. So yeah, I mean, if you had not dropped the shackle last week, maybe I'll give you some grace, but you just dropped the shackle and we all saw you drop the shackle. So sorry, you've got to like do it the way Gary says.
So then he went in and he's like, oh my God. Gary goes in and he's like, I told Chase to go and get the halyard so he could do the name. And he said no. And now he's going to go at the, what do you mean? He said no. Hold on. Let me get a monologue ready in my head. I'm going to tell this kid off. No one's ever seen a tell off like this. Well, you just wait for it. Hey, Chase. You shouldn't do it that way. You're a handsome guy. You work out a lot. Did you know there's microbes on your eyelashes?
Yeah, put on a halyard. So then Chase has this whole thing where he says, give me some credit. And then he now gets mad at Gary. He's like, so you just went to Glenn and told him I wasn't listening? He's like, no, I did not do that, which is like funny that's Gary's first reaction was obviously that he did. Because who else told Glenn in the span of 30 seconds that this two-person issue? Like, it's not like Cloyce was like, Chase won't wear the halyard. So Gary's like, no, I didn't say anything. Oh, actually I did. I can't lie my way about that one. I was like, you can't get your word across with this guy. Same as last season, eh?
And he's like, wait a minute, have you ever told me to do something that I haven't done ever? Could we just keep shooting to the shackle drop? Just keep.
All the time, bro. All the time, bro. It's like, really? Like what? Oh, come on, take a break. No, because I stay up and I fucking help people do the dishes. That means I don't listen to you. Come on, that don't go straight to the captain. Act like So Gary basically lists all the things. He's like, and Chase is just like not hearing it. Like
Chase having a fit. It's so funny. He keeps like flapping his hands. He's like, "God, it's bullshit, okay? Like you fucking throw me under the bus when you're in trouble. I mean, come on, I do every fucking thing you say, Gary. Look how respectful I am." Like you're sitting there having a fucking fit. And
you're actively resisting Gary while claiming that you don't resist Gary ever. So
yeah, exactly. So he's like, okay, well, I will let you know again when you are not listening, okay? And he's like, I will pound down the old shackle. Oh, I guess I can't do that because you didn't listen to me and now it's at the bottom of the ocean.
So Chase goes and cleans the name and he comes back, goes quick, and Gary's like, see, look how quick and easy it was. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm not trying to ignore you. We're not listening to you, man. He's like, yeah, whatever. So now it's time for preference sheet meeting. Final charter of the season. And it's ML. ML is a real estate professional from Washington, D.C., and she's bringing 7 friends for a girls' trip.
Oh, party. It's ladies' night.
Yeah.
Day 1, the guests would like an all-around-the-world dinner and ask that the chef prepare a variety of dishes from all different cuisines.
Ah, yes. And Cloyce is like, well, I like this. So Janine, this person says, I like everything except things with gluten, and I only eat romaine lettuce. All right, Amy.
I've never heard that one before. And I have to say, as a waiter and somebody who's watched every episode of Below Deck ever, I've never heard somebody say, I only eat romaine. Please, keep your baby lettuce to itself. I will not stand for a mixed field greens, you goddamn monster.
Romaine only, the second most basic lettuce. Romaine's fine.
Song from Dreamgirls. Romaine only, romaine only.
It's a great song. I love the all lettuce rendition of Dreamgirls.
What'd you say? The all what version?
All lettuce.
The all lettuce.
Also arguably
the
romaine
cheese wedge is the most popular. Nobody understands why.
And I am telling you, I'm not getting baby jams.
I love that the wedge goes off and becomes the most famous out of the group. And they're like, it's just iceberg.
There's dietary restrictions. So all shellfish, red meat, and nuts. So everyone's just like, no one can eat anything. One person can eat strawberries, mangoes, or kiwis, I think. They all have an issue.
Yeah. All shellfish, red meat, and nuts. That's a lot. And then strawberries, mango, kiwi. What the fuck? Come on. That's just enough. This is just too many made up American diseases in one for anybody to take it seriously. Listen, I'll take one gluten-free and one vegetarian. That's it. That's all you get. Okay? You don't all get to have 5 different things. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So Cloyce is like, a couple of these are like serious allergies, and like you gotta be careful so that we can go out with a bang and not a body bag.
So he's like, where does that leave us? And it leaves you having dinner on the dock, is what Gary says. All right, so let's go out with a bang, right, guys? Danny's like, you cold?
So now it's time to go out for dinner. Cloyce is gonna stay back to work on the dinner, his dinner planning, because it's gonna be challenging. And Glenn is just watching his telenovelas in bed as usual.
And so then we see Danny and Chase like making out and flirting and stuff. And Daisy's like, does anyone else not feel comfortable with the PTA?
Yeah. And he goes like, well, what happened to Anthony, right? And he says that really loudly so that way, Chase can hear. What happened to Anthony? He's basically being a total cockblock.
Yeah. And Danny's like, oh my God, those two want to fuck. They just don't know it. And he's like, Chase is like, yeah, Daisy lives with Gary and Gary just wants everyone for himself. So
I love Danny saying that like it's a bad thing. They want to fuck, but they just won't do it. It's like, yeah. God, what a crazy concept that 2 coworkers that live in the same room and know that when they have sex it causes like unbridled drama on the boat are saying maybe we shouldn't do this until after the season.
They've already fucked already anyway, so what do they care?
Yeah.
After the first few times, it's just like going, like, wow, here I am at the same grocery store. I mean, there's only so many weeks you can be excited that there's a new Sprouts in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? After a while, you're like, why isn't there a bigger cheese section?
Yeah. Why isn't there a bigger cheese section at Sprouts? I always feel like Sprouts should have like a much better cheese selection.
I know. Well, I found like the fancy cheese selection today. Can you tell I just went there before the show? I'm all mad at Sprouts. I'm like, damn, everything's about Sprouts. You were so exciting 2 weeks ago. No, I found everything I need, y'all. Okay, you got some mustard, you got some feta. We're in business.
Well, Sprouts makes sense because remember, it was like a year ago that the daughter of the founder of Sprouts was a stew on Below Deck. So for like 3 days,
it was on theme. I almost went to the Ralphs and I was like, have anybody have family members on Below Deck? That's what I thought. See you later. Until going
big
out of
mistake,
business.
Huge.
So then let's go. We've got 5 minutes left. And so Davide is talking to Glenn, and Davide is like, how many minutes do we have left of this? And he's like, 5. And he goes, oh, come on, start another documentary then. I want to watch them. I'm Italian. So he turns on one and he's like, okay, well, this is a UFO whistleblower talking about recovered non-human biologics.
Sometimes I wonder, like, we love Glenn. He's so sweet and so fun. Is Glenn an avid conspiracy theorist? I'm starting to wonder if, like, we're starting to understand some things about him.
Well, conspiracies have changed so much. Like, conspiracy theorists has changed so much. I used to love conspiracy threads and stuff until it all became, like, crazy QAnon stuff, Right. So who knows? I guess there's different levels you can be.
Right. I wonder, he's talking so much about this stuff now that I'm getting a little concerned. But
well, we know there's UFOs, so that's not
Jersey drones.
So conspiracy anymore. And now we've got the Jersey drones. And yeah, I mean, I think we all know there's aliens and stuff, right?
Yeah, there definitely are.
That's accepted.
There's intelligent life out there, just not on Bravo. So
not anywhere in my address book, but it's out there.
It's definitely not on this boat at the very least. So people are going to bed, and Keith wants a goodnight kiss from Daisy, and so he kind of follows Daisy up to her cabin door, and she opens the door. She's about to go in, but Keith is still like, I want my kiss. So she winds up kissing Keith, which was notable because she kisses Keith essentially in the doorway, and Gary's in there. So Gary has to sit and listen to the love of his right now kissing Keith.
And Gary's like, go to the guest cabin. And she's like, I'm not going to the guest cabin now. I'm going to bed, Gary. Shut up. So she says goodnight to Keith. And Keith just sums it up as, Gary and Daisy's relationship is incredibly complex. I think sometimes you just need someone new to wipe that clean, and then you say, no, actually, no, that person sucked. Which is that whole, like, the only way to get over a man is to get under a new one.
Yep. So then Gary's like, oh, Days, did you hook up with Keith again tonight? And she's like, wow, Rickes, well, he's a fucking lekker bloke, Jesus. I'm not sure I know what that slang is. Could you please explain that? He's a beaut of a person. I approve, Days, I approve, which is my way of saying I will be undermining it tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Like, give me your hand, Gary. So they, like, touch hands from bunk to bunk. And she's like, today was rough, Gary. Today was rough. I mean, you'd been doing so good on your non-drinking thing. Remember that was that 10 minutes? Just all went to hell.
I feel like when Daisy grabs Gary's hand, it's kind of like in those Lubriderm commercials where the lady like touches the back of like an alligator walking by. That's what it must feel like.
She's like, give me your hand, Gary. And she's taking her fingernail and scratching the word dry into his hand. Dry.
I want to know what sandpaper feels like.
Then we go to Chase and Danny. So Danny's like, Chase, I want to give you reassurance about something that didn't mean anything to me. And he's like, that guy who came through, did you fuck him? And she's like, yeah. He's like, you didn't want to tell me the truth? You lied to me. It's like, it was the first time. The first time I lied to you. I'm so sorry. And he's like, so you lied to make it easier? I'm so hurt. You are not, you fucking douchebag. Get the fuck out of here. That's
You're
not
just
your
finding
damn
a way
business.
out.
I'm standing up for Danny on here, and you are totally looking for a way out, you fuck boy.
Listen, we have not stood up for Danny, I think, a single time this entire season, but we are in agreement on this one, which is Chase, just get over it, okay? This is not a serious relationship. You guys met 10 days ago. You're boning. It's a boatman's. We all know what it is.
It's like getting mad at the Costco sample person. They're supposed to be giving it to everybody who passes by. What did you think? This was a private dining room just because you came in before the lunch rush? I mean, leave the woman alone.
Sit in that for a moment. I'm just gonna sit in that. I'm just gonna sit back here. That was great. That was great.
Got a gift. Just let her live, for Christ's sake.
So Christina, like, please put that. Make that a clip. Producer Christina, make that a clip right now.
So Chase is like, I just don't give a fuck about her history. I care about how you treat me. Well, she hasn't fucked him since she met you, so leave her alone.
You know how she treated you? She tolerated your annoying ass voice. So get back to fucking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and he's being all, because they're also, by the way, what we didn't say is that they're having this conversation after they have just fucked in bed. And so now he really uses this as a chance to have like a power play. And so we see what the real Chase is right now. So he uses it as a chance to pout for the rest of the episode, which is just so stupid. Like, it's idiotic. You know, the real bullshit is, you know, Danny is really annoying. But the fact that she felt that she had to lie because a man might think less of her because she decided to actually have an active sex life is what the real problem is. It's not her.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that one. That's ridiculous. And also he's doing the 2-4 where he's like getting what he wants from her. Then he's getting to pout, which means that he's setting up what he's going to be getting in the bars when he leaves, which is like, oh, there's a poor mistreated Bravo guy. Let's all go make out with him. You know, We've seen it happen a million times, kids, a million times.
Yeah.
So he's going down that route. I don't like that, you know. So, and also, another point on this is that we said Gary's going to go fuck this up tomorrow, and it doesn't look like Gary did, but of course Gary did, because this all started because Gary said, where is that guy? Where's that guy from the beach club? Not enough for Chase to get offended, so that made Danny think, oh my God, they're going to use this against me, so now I have to tell Chase. And Chase saw it coming, obviously, because of what Gary had just said, mocking them. So, yeah, Gary strikes again.
Gary it was 2 for 1 because he was able to undermine his rival, Chase, and he was able to get revenge on Danny because Danny moved on from Gary very quickly.
Yeah.
So, Danny, so now at the next...
Revenge is best served cute.
Blah, 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 blah. So then Danny is Ronnie just left the screen momentarily, and I just think it's funny that he left the screen with like a send off almost. Revenge is your best code. Whoosh, disappears.
I need to go off stage now. Thank you. I need a separate entrance for this
something.
next part.
So then now it's the next day, and Danny, like, Chase is moping around, and she's like, Chase, are you still angry? He's like, it's bullshit. She's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, well, yes, I wasn't fucking honest with him at first because I was terrified the man would judge me just like the rest of everyone on this boat would. But for me, all is good. And I want to try to get back to that place that we were at before because I really care for the big dog and I don't even really know what to do. Yeah, he's just taking, you give him an inch, he's going to take a mile, you know?
Well, he's got 10 of them already.
Yeah,
I don't know how many more inches he needs. So
he's got a lot.
Checks on Daisy and he's like, you look like you need a hug. And she's like, I always look like I need a hug. And yeah, you do. Daisy just has I need a hug energy. But then if you try and hug her, she's like, ow. So
what you think you're doing wrong, Charter? So then Gary is like, hey, Chase, sorry for being a huge dick yesterday. I shouldn't have reacted like I did. Sorry, I'm talking to Glenn now. I was just frustrated with everything going on, and it wasn't you. I just want to apologize, and you set the ground rules, and if you don't abide by them, then you know you're the captain of the team. And he's like, yeah, thanks. And they basically just hug.
Well, thank you for doing that. I'm going to reward you for being a good little boy and give you $1,500. Wait a minute. So then Glenn tells us if Gary wants to be captain, he's going to need to leave this childish behavior behind him. Cut to Gary picking his nose and mushing a banana. Yeah. It's going to grow up.
Then Daisy's checking in on Cloyce, and Cloyce is struggling because this is going to be a hard charter. And now changing to whites because everyone's coming. And Keith is like, well, we got a couple of meals on board. Mums I like. It's a PG version. Very, very cute.
I still use MILF. I just say, Moms, I'd like to friend zone. I think that's cuter. So then the guests come, and I love when they do those close-up, slow-mo shots of this, like, here come the sexy guests. And it's just like some, like, I don't know, Filene's basement ladies kind of.
Yeah, it's like everyone just got out of Marshall's and was walking to their car, but it turns out it happens to be a yacht this time.
Well, Daisy, for the trip around the world, there's the most restrictions I've ever seen. So, like, how does this sound? So he's going to do salad, he's going to do pesto, and then he has to do shit from every country. And it sounds insane. Like, he says everything, and Daisy goes, I would like that. I'd like that.
I feel like at that point, like if you're doing like with all these dietary restrictions, it's like you want to do around the world. It's going to be like, here's rice and here's more rice. Is rice considered gluten? Rice is gluten free, right? Rice is rice.
No, rice is glutinous. No, rice is gluten free. Rice is gluten.
Yeah, I'd say I have like those rice crackers. I would just be like, rices of the world. Congratulations, everyone. You're all getting different rice. Brown rice?
Yeah.
Rice. Basmati rice.
100%. Well, especially when he does things like a gluten-free pasta. He does a gluten-free pasta later, and he gives the glutinous people gluten pasta, and then he gives the gluten-free ones gluten-free pasta. Just use gluten-free pasta for everybody. Yeah. It's pretty good now.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Actually, you know what I would say? I don't know. Actually, what I would say is I actually think I like gluten-free crackers more than regular crackers. They have a nice crisp to them. I love like a rice cracker.
You know what's really good too? Gluten-free pretzels. Those are good.
Yeah, they have like a nice, like tender crisp, these things. If I were Bethany Frank, I'll go, I like it. It's good. Wait a second.
Delicious.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. Sorry. Take it off the market. It's bad. It's bad. Bad product. Bad product.
So now Daisy is assigning Deanna to dinner on the flybridge at 8. And she's like, start setting up at 6. And then they have to start preparing for around the world. And Danny's like, what? Is the deco in there? And Deanna's like, just ask Daisy. I don't know why I'm saying all this. So then it's the last charter, guys. So the girls are tired. And Danny's trying not to be bummed about a guy, but it's Danny. So she's like, I'm on autopilot right now, but it's fun. I did just flirt with a granola bar. Just sad, but it was literally the only person in the mess hall, so...
I was I was like, I think this granola bar is into me after it was like, kudos to you. And then I realized it was just called a kudos bar. So
I'm
then
the only person who's been dumped by a kind bar. I mean, it's written in their name.
I was literally put into a friend zone by a bar, but then I realized it was just a zone bar. So Clovis is talking again about how challenging this is. And he goes and presents this around the world menu. And then then there's time to clear. And the food is cleared. And then there's more food that comes out. And everyone's impressed and everyone's happy. It seems to be going really, really well. And so now Chase is like hanging out with Danny. It's been a whole day of Chase being sullen. And so now they're sitting in the crew mess. And Chase is like, can I help out at all? And she's like, just emotional support. He's like, I think you're doing a great job. And they're sort of like, he's like being nice to her all of a sudden again.
Best orange juicer of all time.
You were a grump today, weren't you? He's like, I was not a grump.
So he's telling us he likes Danny, but he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't want her to feel like he's ignoring her. But, he doesn't like being lied to. So today his guard is up. Okay. He has a little less trust today. You have nothing to not trust this person. I mean, I wouldn't trust her, but you don't have any reason to not trust her. Stop. Your penis doesn't win every fucking contest, dude. She gets to do whatever she wants with her vag before you get there. Even if you were still there. I mean, that's none of your business, sir.
Yeah. How about next time you put your guard up before you get some clip art tattoos all over your body? Okay.
That's exactly. You did this to yourself.
You look like a print shop demo.
There's not a person on earth who wouldn't fuck other people if they knew that you were their only option for the next month or two.
Yeah, you make Adam Levine look like he's actually got some artistry going on with.
Yeah, you make Adam Levine look like he's well thought out design work.
Yeah, and for the record, I am totally fine with tattoos. I'm just saying Chase's tattoos pretty shitty. So
you're putting art on your body. You need to make sure it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Daisy is talking, and she's like, hey, Gary, so you and Chase, what's going on there? And Gary's like, well, I just kind of like maybe took it out because I was having such a frustrating day. So that's what my problem is. I let things get to me and get to me and get to me, and then I burst out, usually with semen. But what's happening with you and Keith, by the way? That's going on. That's going good. Like, did you guys kiss again? He's like very invested in finding out if Daisy kissed Keith.
Yeah, because poor Gary just doesn't get any... Look, little poor Gary. He's just aged out. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say age, but it's like he's just too dried up. Like nobody likes Gary. He's just too icky and gross now. And so she's like, we had to kiss Gary. Jeez, maybe two. And he's like, more? I can sleep in the crew mess if you'd like. And so then he's like, maybe it's just us doing everything wrong here. We are the problem. And she goes, you're the problem, Gary. You're the problem.
Yes, so obsessed with it. No one wants to date me. No one likes me. So Daisy's like, it's so annoying that he's so interested in me and Keith hooking up. It's just like Gary wants every fucking candy in the candy shop and doesn't want anyone else to have it. Well, guess what? He's my peanut butter cup.
So then Chase checks in with Danny again, and, he's shocked that she's still being a little weird because he did say something to her earlier that, every girl falls for. He said, orange, you glad? The day is almost done, while she was making orange juice. You guys, that's not marriage material. I swear to God. So he's like, are you all good? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And she's like, about what? He's like, well, we had some talks about it in the master. We've known each other for 2 weeks and we're about to go to opposite sides of the world. So I just don't know where we leave things. Like, seems like to me, we just remain cool friends.
Well, I feel like you want to talk about something that you've already made your mind up about, and you're not really giving me space to tell you where I am. And because you've basically told me that it's what it is already, so I'm not going to sit here and convince you otherwise. I've said this forever. I'm like the type of person that if I like somebody, I don't give a fuck about distance or this or that. Like, I will make a fucking effort. But that's like a two-way thing, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, please you, because you seem like you're in a headspace of like you don't actually want to try to continue something. You just want to be friends. And that's fine, but don't ask for my opinion when you already have made that choice. Can we have this conversation another time? Because I so don't know what to. I'm like, girl, what sort of, why do you need that monologue?
That monologue was longer than your relationship.
I was not expecting that monologue. In my mind, I remember her saying like, oh, you made a decision, fine. But I was like, damn, this is a whole big monologue. I'm stuck in this thing.
But this is also a person who's been dumped a lot. It's like how Gary's so good with apologies now. Like Gary, every day after he gets in a fight or acts like an asshole, every day he's like, that wasn't your fault. That was my fault. And I'm very, very sorry about it because I was feeling this and that. And this is why I did it. And now I understand that was wrong. And I will go forward working in love and harmony. It's like that's literally someone who has to apologize 10 times a day. And Danny has had to give this speech so many times. It probably gets longer every time she gives it.
Yeah,
and one more thing as I stand on this hill looking upon my cousins, my sisters, my father. It's like, could you just get to the fucking point, lady?
It's also funny, like, if someone is like, yeah, I'm not into this person anymore, I want to friend zone them or move on. It's always funny when people say, oh, well, you made a decision without including me. It's like, well, what part?
What do you think about me breaking up with you?
Hey, I'm thinking about breaking up with you because I'm not into you right now. So,
give me your best 8 bars. Give me your best 8 bars. On the cusp.
Please lip sync for your life right now. So Danny's like, it actually like pisses me off. She always says actually, like we're debating. It's like, well, he actually pisses me off like so much because like when I've been busy thinking about how to make it work, he's been like busy thinking about how to get rid of me. I'm like, yes, well, so have many of us.
I was gonna say that's one thing he has in common with the rest of the audience. Jeez.
Thinking about how can I change the channel when Danny's on?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So now it's bedtime and wake up time for the next day. So Daisy checks in with Cloy's. He's doing family style, which sounds horrible to do with people with all these allergies, but you do you. And then the guests start playing with the rope swing. And then Danny is telling Deanna about her talk with Chase. And Deanna's like, well, what do you want? Let me tell you what I would like. A chance. Literally anybody.
A chance at anything at all. Yes. So yeah, Danny is just prattling on about Chase because no one really cares. But while she's talking about this, Daisy's like, oh, you know what's interesting? It's that last season he was dating the chef, Alicia. And I think they went and visited each other in Australia. And he went and dated her in Australia. So he did fly around the world for her, which is funny because they had no sexual chemistry in the first place. But look at you guys with all that sexual chemistry and you won't even cross a state line. Anyway, have a great rest of your breakfast.
And Danny, I thought Danny was going to be mad at Daisy for trying to make her more mad at Chase, but she wasn't. She went straight for Chase. She's like, wait a minute, you've done it before. So wait, obviously it's human nature to be like, okay, but why not me? If you would go to Australia for her, why not me? And I mean, because you're Danny. Sorry. Alicia can, like, she has just a lot more things going on. You know, she could cook really well from what I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Tablescapes are just not going to have the same draw. So then meanwhile, the ladies are being sassy and ML is like, because I think her name is like Mary Louise or Mary Linda or Melanie Lydia. So she's like, her thing at some point, I don't know if it was now, but she bends over and bonks her head on a thing. And so now she's like, I look like I've been bent over and had sex doggy style. And I'm like, oh, I got my own, I've been bruised up and bringing to.
They're like, really? And then Medea Lichtenstein is like, well, both my elbows are skinned up and I got both of my knees bruised and I got my forehead. And she's, you're an alcoholic. Okay. Finally, yes. Gary's wife has shown up. Like, we finally found her. Everyone that's going to be like, so I met your mom. Everyone thinks it's somebody. And then at one point, just someone shows up out of the blue. And it's this lady.
I love, there's also a lady named Tony on there who is like Elizabeth Holmes, you know, vision board for a voice. And she's like, hi, my name's Tony. Everyone thinks I'm from New York because I got a deep voice, but I never stepped foot outside of Florida. And I just love her because she spends the entire charter just being embarrassed of everyone. Like, she's like, I'm going to move up to the front because this is too embarrassing.
This is really embarrassing.
So they're having like a lunch now, and so Cloyce has basically said, hey, Diana, this one is for Aaron, and this one is for Denise. So go give them. And then Diana's like, I don't know. There's like a Karen and an Aaron and Denise and ML. I don't know who's who. All I know is that none of them are Putin. So I'll just put it somewhere and they can do their best.
And so ML's like, wait a minute, which one is that? Ow, I just hit myself in the eye with a fork. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Guys, I got bent over having doggy sex in a silverware cart container. And it's like, it's couscous salad. Or as we call it, pus, because we all love Putin so much. the oligarchs call it pus salad. Put salad.
Everyone in Russia must play miniature golf once per week in honor of Putin, but of course we call it put. So Diana's like, she won't answer any questions. They're like, will this kill Karen? She's like, chef is coming up. I don't answer questions anymore. I can't answer questions. I've only had 9 hours of sleep.
You will not get me to talk. Listen, my eyelids have been taped open for 9 days. I said nothing. You think you're going to get me, Karen lady? And she's like, but is it going to kill my friend? I mean, I see that it's a couscous salad, but are we going to die? And she's like, well, the chef will come. So she's like, he told me one with black hair. There are 3 with black hair. How am I supposed to know, bro? Like, who the fuck is Karen? They all look like a Karen to me.
Honestly, if one of you die from allergies, my job easier. So then Diana goes downstairs. She's like, they want to know who has what and because someone's allergic. And he's like, but I told you which one is what. She's like, I don't know. Just come upstairs. I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, wow, Diana, you're doing great work. Diana complains all season long that she doesn't get any special privileges. And then she puts in minimal effort to try to figure out what food might kill someone at that table.
Yeah, and he's like, well, look, Karen's the one who can't have tomatoes, and Diane doesn't eat raw fruits or vegetables, which is crazy. Who doesn't eat raw fruits or vegetables? That's crazy.
Is that an allergy?
That one just sounds made up.
Yeah, I think so. So Cloyce comes up, and he basically explains what goes in what. And basically he's like, this is annoying. Like, I told Diana everything, and she's like not doing it, and now it makes me look bad.
Yeah. And so then ML's like, I just don't want to be sitting here and us not be able to eat, you know? Like, I don't want an EpiPen situation. So maybe next time you can come tell us everything that's going to be coming up first. So that way we're not like, well, we're going to have that. Because, I mean, this really killed my couscous experience. Is it just me? Does anybody else want to know first? She's one of those who's like, oh,
yeah.
Is it me? No, yes. It's not just you, Mary Louise, okay?
So Diana is like, this is so annoying with family style with so many foods, which is true. Like, it is, all these food issues, why are you serving family style? And Daisy's like, well, I do think it's important to get back on track. So just if you need me, get me if you need me. I think they're going to be pretty nice about it all. So now the guests are going to play water toys and everything. And Danny and Chase are talking. And now she's mad. And she's like, we need to talk later. And she's like, well, I didn't mean to upset you last night. Well, it's not last night. I don't know if you've been completely honest with me. So, look who's mad now. It's me.
He's like, wait, what are you talking about? I've been completely honest with you. So let me go talk to the guests and we'll talk later tonight. This is bullshit. This bullshit is fucking unbelievable.
So then Daisy's talking to Cloyce about the dietary stuff and everything. And Cloyce is telling Daisy that the girls were he told the girls they just weren't doing their job and everything. And she's like, I don't understand how there's so much confusion over this. I mean, it's not like someone put 19 pitas in a basket and said there were 20. And Cloyce is like, yeah, I think they just want to be able to dive into tonight's meal without having to wait for everything to be plated.
Well, it's frustrating because I can't be everywhere all at once. And I wish Diana had communicated earlier that she was struggling. I'm here to help. I mean, can we just get this right one time? God damn it. So then we get to the Danny and Chase talk. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. My heart is beating. So Danny's like, Nick, can we actually chat on the boat? And he's like, really can't. I mean, what do you want? What do you want? She's like, I want to talk about Alicia. Don, don, don.
He's like, what? What about Alicia? He's like, what made me not feel worth it? What made it not worth it? Me not worth it in the end for that situation? And he's like, well, I don't think that's very fair. And she's like, but then to find out that you did actually go over that. And it's like, okay, so you should have just told me that. And he's like, well, I did. And you know what? We did it for a month. But guess what? After a month, she cooked me everything she knew how to cook. So it was done. It all went to shit because it was long distance. And we put a label on it. And Australians also said, look at that dumb American with the stupid tattoos. So I felt not quite good there. So I don't want to make pressure of doing that all over again with you.
Yeah, Danny, you got dumped already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you need to move on. Like, wait a minute. Your reason for dumping me couldn't have been correct. So I'd rather you just say, it's me. Like, what do you want the guy to say? I was just using you and now I'm leaving. Goodbye. No, he has a right to lie about an excuse. I think, and I'm back on his side on that one. You've been dumped. Have some self-respect and walk away.
Yeah, stop chasing after this douchebag. And she's like, I just felt like it was just like, I was really open and honest about you, with you and everything. And he's like, no, you lied to me about what you did in the master cabin with some dude. And she's like, okay, but then I told you after I lied, and I did fucking tell you, and it just feels like you're attacking me, even though I'm the one who came up to you to attack you.
Yeah. And he's not really getting it, but then Daisy's radioing, and she's like, "All right, I need Interior to set up dinner." And she's like, "Am I just part of some like weird game? I mean, is it like I'll only travel for certain people, but not Danny? I mean, is it the game we're playing?"
Yes. Actually, the answer is 100% yes. And Danny is like, I'm just saying it. I'm not accusing it, even though it is an accusation. He's like, no, it's not a game. It's my life, Danny. And she's like, well, and he's like, I don't know what you thought that was a thing to tell you. And she's just like, it's like, can you see my eyes? That's how that's just being thrown around. Like, I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying you treat other people better than you treat me, you know? And he's like, God. She's really trying to I think she's just trying to win a point or something, or have him say I was wrong.
Well, she's trying to be like, oh, you'll travel for her, so you'll travel for me then. He broke up with you. He doesn't want to be with you. That's his excuse for not being with you, Danny. You're embarrassing. So he's like, but you live in Australia. And she goes, but I've told you I only make my own money in Australia. I don't live anywhere. I could live anywhere. So we might as well just move in and have babies right now. And he's like, but then where are you going after you leave here? And she's like, I don't know. I'm figuring it out. Well, that's the thing. I just can't be with someone who's trying to figure things out. Just say, I'm not into it. I'm sorry. And walk away. Yeah. This is crazy. Also, wait till the last episode, not the penultimate episode.
Just say you got the ick, okay? Because she can't argue with that because she already said she got the ick with Keith, okay? So Daisy, meanwhile, by the way, Diana has been setting the table the whole time. So Daisy's like, has my other soul decided to work yet? No, she hasn't. So basically, Daisy sticks her head out the window. It's like, Daddy, can you please come and set up dinner? Thank you very much. She's like, all right, fine.
I like Danny's line. She goes, but I don't have a house I pay mortgage on. I don't have a dog. I don't have fuck all. Like, oh, that's sad, but you're trying to make yourself more dateable.
Yeah, I know. So now,
nothing that loves me. I'm totally open for you. He's like,
So now as we go into the season finale, we're left on a cliffhanger of whether this super annoying couple that no one cares about will be able to make things work out. Guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, done. So that's that. Next week, I don't know. Possibly somebody gets mad about gluten. My favorite thing. My favorite fight, the gluten fight. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. Go grab tickets for the Golden Crappies and all of our live shows. San Francisco, San Diego, Salt Lake City, and Denver coming up in the next couple of weeks. And your live streaming tickets for the Golden Crappies. We're going to go off and record trailers now for the Patreon bonus episode. We'll talk to you next time, everybody. Bye.
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 Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Catherine DiBernardo has our hearto.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit. Dana C. Dana Do. She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Etchels.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey. You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
We could all learn from Jennifer Kearns.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Knock, knock, knocking on Katie Mannock's door.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets a name from us. It's Lindsay D.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry. We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love a ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
Have a heck of a time with Rebecca.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's got a leg up. It's Beth Ani.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish. It's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron.
She's a whiz. It's Liz Sarthy.
Always killing it. It's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Put on a kettle for Rebecca Weddle.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.